What's up, guys? I'm Bas from Perpetual White Clover. I'm here today to talk to you about a little life hack. I know most of you think this is all going to be about watches and whatnot, and you're frankly right, but this is a life hack for everybody who likes to tinker. If you like to work on small stuff and you got a workbench at home, this little life hack is going to help you heaps because, as my dad always used to say, a good watchmaker doesn't necessarily need to have good eyes. He definitely needs some good knees because most of the time you're going to spend on your knees searching for stuff. Um, and it's going to be a little catch that you put at the edge of your workbench, um, and it's going to help you and it's going to save you time definitely. What you need is some isolation wall. This one is a P profile, and I highly suggest you get a P profile one because it's flat with a little round over, so you can put the flat part towards your bench. No worries if you don't know what I mean. At this point, I'm going to show you all. For me personally, I've got like a lovely workbench. I've got it from Technics. It's a custom workbench. I put a link in the bottom of the description so you can check it out. And it's like ergolift, so it goes up and it goes down, which is a lovely feature. But when I got my bench, I kind of forgot to ask them to add in a little catch, which sometimes people route these out, sometimes people have like a rubber catch, and this is a very inexpensive way to do so. I think I paid for these 6 meters like $10. Um, I know most people use this to insulate their windows and doors, but it's a great little, quite inexpensive, quite interchangeable life hack to help you with your workbench. And I think you can hear my little kiddo in the back. I've got dad duty today, so he's playing in the couch. So, okay, let's get into it. So, what you want to do is first up, clean your workbench. I do this normally like every Friday when I finish for the week. I get everything on the bench, clean it with some degreaser. This is actually quite an affordable one. It's actually quite cheap, to be totally honest. Um, so this way your product will stick a little bit better. I always do this with just paper towels and the degreaser, get off any of the debris from the week, because working on vintage watches does leave some toll on the bench. Um, this bench is only like a couple weeks old, so I want to keep it looking kinda crispy. I also took away this little green mat here that I use to work on, so it gives me some contrast. Also wipe it down quickly. I replace these mats like once every 3 to 6 months because for some reason they will just start looking very dirty, and I like to change the color. Sometimes I use green, sometimes I use black, sometimes white. Now I'm using a green one with a little cutout, which fits nicely here in this cutout on the bench. Once that's clean, let me get another piece of paper towel to dry it off. I have something to work with, and my roll will stick. Actually, where did I put it? Oh, here. So let me graze you a little bit as well, which is a little bit nice, maybe. Okay. Um, let's see. If I remember correctly, because I did this on my old bench as well, which was not, well, it was sold to me as a watchmaker's bench, but wasn't the best bench, to be totally honest. Uh, if I remember correctly, you can actually kind of make bends with it, but I'm not really sure. So let's see. We probably need, like, what is this? A meter or so. Total length is 6 meters. Probably 3 times 2 meters. Some scissors, and let me snip this open. Put the excess away for a second. And as you can see here, there is like a little lip here, and this is like a D profile, P profile type of deal. And what I like to do is leave the lip on the inside of the bench. So anything that comes flying will get stuck in between the lip and the board. But because this is insulation, it's quite soft, which is very nice to put your hand on when you're working. Um, so let's see how this works out. Oh, and for the ones who want to know, this is the large model, and it's advertised as 9 millimeters wide, which, frankly, it is. Sometimes nice to know. I'm not entirely sure if you want something smaller. For me, this is something that I think will catch most of the flying parts. I don't know, some people will say the fact that some parts fly away is the lack of proper uses of your tools. If you put in just enough pressure on your tweezers, nothing will fly away. And you're right, but you're also maybe wrong, because sometimes stuff just wants to go fly away. Sometimes you're just strangling quite a bit with a vintage part, and when it eventually comes loose, it just wants to go fly away. So I prefer to have some sense of a catch, something that will help me not lose parts, um, because spending time on my knees, even though it maybe sounds fun to some people, I do not really enjoy on my knees looking for parts. This is actually going quite fine. I didn't imagine I could bend this that easily, because my last workbench was just a straight bench. And I know a lot of people on Instagram commenting about the fact that I should have upgraded to a new bench because of my spine and my neck, and they're right. My spine and my neck do hurt often, but that doesn't really have anything to do with my work. It's more to do with how I'm built. So, and let me finish this off quickly. Let's get into the bend. Get it a little closer to the border. And we're done. So this took me like, what, 10 minutes tops to clean the bench and to put the border on. And let me quickly show you how it looks. Now it will look with the mats. I did make. This is maybe something that I should have accounted for. But after looking at it, I also decided that it's maybe smart for me to modify this to fit a little bit better. So I just took a little measurement with my calipers, which just seems about like a centimeter, and then I'm just going to take off from the mat. I'm quickly going to mark it so I know where to cut it, and I'll show you the result in a little bit. Yeah, I like this. This is nice. And let me show you what the purpose is of this little catch. This is just a piece of backwood, but for example, a part of whatever rolls away, flies away, and get caught by this little border. And it's soft enough so you can put your hand on it when you're working. You can rest on it without hurting your hands, which is always nice because, let's face it, if you're working, for example, I've got an Amiga here. I'll be sitting quite close into it and putting quite a lot of pressure on my wrists, and I won't really be bothered with this little insulation strip did help you, and you might be implementing it to your own workbench. It's quite an easy fix, quite an easy thing to do. It's quite inexpensive, and it will save you time. So it will save your knees as well, and it's just a neat little thing to upgrade your workflow. So if you liked it, please leave a like. If you've got some suggestions or want to hear other life hacks as a craftsman or a tinkerer, or you want to see more about vintage watches themselves, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to do some restoration work on camera. I just have to figure out how to film this, but I would also love to talk to you about vintage watches, because I've been doing this for a living for quite some time now. So